Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. Carolyn Williams here with Money Reverse. I am here for day one of 4 days for Stock Savvy Sessions. You can learn about stocks and the market, and we're going to talk about oil too, in 4 days. And there is no cost for this free class. Even if you're a total beginner, I don't want you to be intimidated, and I don't want you to let your friends miss out on this. So, wherever you're watching this right now, I'd like for you, if you feel that your friends would benefit from this, share this out, tag somebody or share it out and let them know I'm at Stock Savvy Sessions. Say hello in the comments when you arrive so that I can greet you. We're going to be here for 4 days, so I don't want you to be a stranger. Don't be hiding in the shadows. Come on out and just say hello. Stock Savvy. Put Stock Savvy in the comments just to let me know, number one, that you hear me, and let me know also that you're ready to get started. We're going to learn about stocks. Who's ready to learn about stocks? Put Stock Savvy in the comments when you arrive. Thank you so much for joining. Now, there's one thing that I'm doing a little bit different than I advertised. I originally advertised that I was going to share this on another platform, one that starts with X and ends with X. But I changed my mind. I said I'm not going to share it on that platform. I'm going to share this on my personal Facebook timeline instead. So I'm not broadcasting on Twitter this time, or X, whichever one you want to call it. I am on my home personal Facebook timeline. So all my friends and my family, my high school classmates, I normally just broadcast on my business page, but I go, nah, everybody gonna get a chance to get some. So hello, hey Jonathan, so glad to see you. Welcome back from the Dominican Republic. Whoa, how was your trip? How was your trip? I got people here. I got friends that travel all around the world. I love it. I love it. So with that, we're getting ready for Stock Savvy. Hey Sherry, how are you? Happy Monday. Glad to listen in on a Stock Savvy. Yay! Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. We are going to get started. We got a lot to go over in these 4 days. And I'm going to just go ahead and get started. Let's see here. I'm going to start sharing some teaching. Again, if you find that even if you wait for a few minutes to say after I start teaching, if you feel that this is something you'd like to share with your friends, your timeline, anybody on your timeline or like to tag, please do that because this is free. I'll tell you, if anybody wants to know why I do this, why do I do Stock Savvy? Ask me and I'll tell you. I'll weave that answer to that question in here because I do this twice a year, and I have a lot of people that come back and take this again and again, and and uh, and for that reason, I keep doing it over and over again, giving additional information. So even if you never pay me for any of my paid classes, I want you to know here is a place where you can get 2 free stock lessons a year, right here at Money Reverse. So let's get started. This is day one of 4. We're going to go through today a biblical investing lesson. We're going to talk about why we do Stock Savvy Sessions. And then we're going to talk about what's going on with oil today. What's going on with oil? We're going to do stock talk about how big and how much. And then I'm going to be here to answer all of your questions and set you up for tomorrow. So good deal. Ready to go? Yeah, I see, Sherry says, because we hear new things and new stories. Yeah, that's true. You do. You do. I tell my stories too. Well, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. A biblical investing lesson. My business is Money Reverse, reversing the substandard financial conditions in the body of Christ. That is my vision. That is my mission. And my vision is that all Christians understand what the word says, what God has called us to in the word, and also not only that we understand it, but that we use the practical application to get there and operate in that way. So Money Reverse is not only my brand, it's my promise. I'm always going to give you a biblical view of investing or a biblical view of money, whatever the topic is that I'm teaching. And so in Stock Savvy Session, it's no different. So this lesson, a biblical investing lesson, this lesson is starting small. The scripture is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11, New Living Translation, and it reads, wealth from get rich quick schemes disappears quickly, and wealth from hard work grows over time. Now, again, this is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11. This is the New Living Translation. Now, what you're seeing on the screen here, it looks like a video because it is a video. This is a 2-minute lesson that I teach, and I have the video for this lesson in Money Reverse University. Along with our daily teachings, there is a class area in Money Reverse University. I'll give you the link for that shortly. And there you can go and click and see this biblical investing lesson. Again, the whole premise of this is that everything starts small. Let's not run to get rich quick schemes. I'd rather you learn how the market works, learn how to do it, learn about yourself, develop some strategies, and work at it over time. And I promise you, you're going to get better and better, and your portfolio profits are going to get larger and larger. I have a group of traders that will say amen to that, and they have stuck with me for years in my daily trading group. So with that, wealth, if you try to get it quickly, it's going to disappear quickly. But when you work over time, it's going to be there to stay. You will have the why, and you will be able to do this at any time. So again, I want you to sign up for the class in the Money Reverse University. I'll give you the link here shortly, and you'll be able to see this biblical investing lesson. So what I want to do is just pray us in as we get started with this Stock Savvy session. Father God, we thank you, Lord. We give you praise and honor. I worship you because you're worthy to be praised. Lord, I thank you for today. Thank you for this Stock Savvy sessions. Thank you for everybody that's here, whether live or on the replay. Lord, we surrender all to you. We know that these are your financial markets and we are your children. Lord, we ask for wisdom and guidance, and give us the promptings to know if this is the season for us to get more into having our money make money for us in the stock market. Lord, I thank you that throughout this session, eyes are open, that ears are uncovered, that things are just opening up so that we will know which direction to go. And thank you, Lord, for the advanced wisdom that you're giving to each individual, whether live here today or watching on the replay anytime, years or months from now. In your son, Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Amen. The information provided here today is for educational purposes only. Any market information that I share is purely commentary and should not be construed as investment advice, nor should the information be construed as a solicitation to buy or sell any securities of any kind. Now, why are we doing Stock Savvy sessions? I'm going to just give you a quick explanation as why we're doing Stock Savvy sessions. Now, what I want you to do is look at the chart here on the right-hand side. The U.S. historical market returns. First of all, I want you to know the truth about our financial markets. Take a look. There's 5 columns here. The first column is the year. The second column is bank savings. If you had money sitting in a bank savings account, this is on average, according to the FDIC, what bank savings are paying as of 10/23/2023, which is the day of this recording, 1.14%. Now, if you're in a major consumer bank like me, my bank is not paying me 1.14%. This is on average amongst all of the banks, according to the FDIC, those that are guaranteed by the FDIC. S&P stock market. So the S&P 500 as of today, 10/23, it has returned a positive 9.38%. Now, this is down in a number of weeks. I did a training with my graduates, individuals that have graduated my full program, and we were at 15%, really just a few weeks ago. So now we're at 9.38% positive. If you were in bonds, short-term bonds, 4.97%, and long-term bonds, 3.57%. We're not talking about bonds today, but I do want you to know that that is an inverted yield curve. We have an inverted yield curve here. For those of you that have taken my courses, I will teach about this in a graduate session so that we can understand about what the bond market is doing right now, because it has a very big impact on what's going on in the stock market. So with that, take a look down the line. When we look at bank savings down the line all the way back to 2011, you can see that bank savings, it's only in the last 12 months that bank savings has paid on average over 1%. In the past 10 years, bank savings have paid much less than 1%. And look at the S&P 500. We're at 9% now. Last year, 2022, was a down year, down 19%. Look at the previous years. You can see a number of years when the return of the S&P 500 was more than 10%, more than 20% in many cases. So with that, I want you to just look at what the market has been returning. Look at the two bond columns together. The bonds have not been paying much. They're paying much more now because of what the Fed's doing with interest rates. But take a look down the line of all the past years, you're looking at less than 1%, definitely less than 5% for bonds over the last number of years. Let's go back to that third column with the stock market. This is what we're going to be talking about for the next 4 days. I want you to know the truth. When you hear people say people lose their money in the stock market, I'm not saying that people don't lose their money in the stock market. I think the difference between making money and losing money is really understanding what you're doing and understanding what's happening in the market at the time that you're in it. That's why I do these sessions, so that we understand what's going on. You're not just throwing darts and trying to hit something and hope that it just slides in the right place. No, we know why we're doing things. That's one of my premises with Money Reverse. I want to make sure that you truly understand. But the one thing I want you to look here and see that the stock market has had positive returns for the last number of years. We've had a few down years and a few years that were dismal, but overall, those returns are much better than the bond market and bank savings. I do want you to know, if you have money sitting in a savings account, I am grateful. I'm so happy that you do have money sitting in a savings account. When you get to a point of financial elevation, you want to start to have your money bring returns to you. The stock market is a viable option for that. That's all I want to do is share. So with that, if this is something that interests you, then that's why I do these sessions, so that you can just get a better understanding of what's going on in the market at the time that I do this. This is why I do Stock Savvy sessions. They're always free and they're broadcasted live right where you're watching me right now. Now, again, I'm on my personal Facebook timeline, which is very different. I typically do not broadcast here, but I go, oh, why not? Why not? We're not going to go broadcast on X this time. We're going to broadcast on my personal timeline. So if you're some of my friends or family or church members or coworkers, or, I have people that used to work for me when I was in corporate here. I don't have any bosses. I never became a friend with my boss. Never. But people that work for me, used to work for me, are my friends here. So if you used to work for me or go to church with me, just say hi. I know you from this place, because I'm broadcasting on my personal timeline. I'm excited about my personal timeline. You can tell. Now, one thing I want to share every time when I do Stock Savvy sessions, I always want to bring an additional topic, not just stocks, but also an additional side topic that we're going to learn about a little bit every day, and so that it can help us as we are working through what's going on in the market. This time, we're going to talk about the oil dance. Now, why you say the oil dance? Let's think about a dance. The one thing about a dance is you make a move, and then you make another move, and then you make that same move again, and you make that same move again. Hold on, I got to get my groove on, y'all. Hey, you make your same move again with a dance. Oil does the same thing. You don't see where oil is low one time and it stays low forever. It's like, oh, wow, oil is up again. Wow. Oh, oil is down again. Yeah, it's a dance. And with the dance, it's the same moves over and over again. That's why I call it the oil dance, because what I tell you today is not going to always stay today. I've taught about oil a lot. And the reason that I teach about oil a lot is because it is that thing in the market that, in my opinion, you've got to keep a side eye on oil. It affects so much, and it affects the world, that even though you may not be interested in oil stocks, or you may not be interested in oil itself, from a market perspective, I want you to always have a side eye on oil. You just need to know what it's doing. I'm not dancing with you, but okay, I see that move. Okay, thank you. I want you to always know what's going on with oil. We got some slick moves going on right now. We're going to go through some of that right now. Now, first of all, when we talk about oil, I want you to know what we're talking about is crude. We're not talking about oil that you find in the store or anything. When I say oil from a market perspective, I'm really talking about crude. And just a quick lesson. Crude is the raw natural oil as it comes from the ground. When it comes from the ground, that is what we call crude. There's so many different types of crude. There's heavy crude. There's light crude. Heavy crude is sometimes so dense it doesn't even flow. Light crude is liquid and it flows. On the right-hand side, you got sweet crude, which has a low sulfur content. You have sour oil, which is a high sulfur content. And then you also have shale oil, which comes from shale rock. They also call that tight oil. I'm in Texas right now, and in Texas and Oklahoma, we do a lot of drilling. It's called fracking, and that's how we get oil from rocks. I'm going to share a little bit more about what all we're doing here in the U.S. with oil. So with that, the more desirable oils are the ones that I have in yellow: the liquid, sweet, and shale. So with that, these are the more desirable. The two commodities that are used to measure price of oil are there. One is called Brent crude. It's from the North Sea oil fields. And then the other is WTI. It's called West Texas Intermediate. And it is here in the U.S. in most cases. It comes from West Texas Intermediate. Yeah, it comes from the U.S., of course, from Texas and other areas very close to Texas. So what we're going to use here in the conversation here for the next 4 days is we're going to talk about WTI, which is West Texas Intermediate. Has anybody heard of WTI before, or Brent crude? If you've heard of WTI when it comes to oil or Brent crude, just let me know. I've heard of WTI, or I've heard of Brent crude, or I've heard of both. I'm just curious as to who we have here, and because I'll talk pretty fast and throw a lot of information out here for you. So now, just when we talk about oil, just know we're talking about crude. Okay. Now, what I want to do is say, now, Carolyn, what do we do with this stuff? What do we do with crude? I'm just very quickly. This is a chart from 2021, and this has not changed very much at all. What do we use oil for here in the U.S.? We use it, number one, for transportation: airlines, trucking, railroads, marine trucking services, delivery services, rentals, leasing, cruise lines, anything for transportation, whether it's motors or fuel. This is what here in the U.S., what we use majority of our oil for. And so with that, the other things we use oil for are industrials, for those factories. We use oil for residential. It's what we use for heating and gas, for heating and cooking, and also for commercial reasons, for businesses that use oil as a part of their business. You can see this biggest blue part of this circle is transportation. Mainly, this is what we use it for. When we say industrials, that's the next biggest one. This is manufacturing, for producing chemicals, things like paints, pharmaceuticals, for producing chips and factories, mining, oil and gas, aerospace, defense, and conglomerates. That's the industrials. That's this green portion of the green portion of the circle here. So it's really for factories and for transportation. This is what we use it for. Now, when we really tend to care about oil, when you're not watching the markets, what tends to get our attention with oil is what? When the price goes up at the pump. When we go to get gas, if you're not driving an electric vehicle, we notice that when oil prices go up at the pump and we go, oh my goodness, what is going on? I was just out of town this weekend. I did a road trip. I went to Arkansas. I went to my mom's house, went to my hometown. And of course, I noticed the price of on the pump. We're going to talk. I don't know if we'll have time to talk about all of that in these 4 days. So, but yeah, that's what we notice, is that we see the price of gas either drop really low or really high. And we're going to talk about that right now. I'm going to give you an example of why does this really change so much. What do you think makes the difference in the price of a barrel of oil? But let's first say, what is the price of a barrel of oil? A barrel of oil is how this commodity is transacted. You don't go buy a cup, you don't buy a liter, it's a barrel. And a barrel, I think, is 144 gallons or something like that. I forget. I'll get that number for sure. If somebody else can Google how much is what is the content of a barrel of oil? How many gallons or liters is it? For some reason, I'm thinking it's 144 or something like that. Take a look here. As of the close of the NYMEX today, which is where oil is traded, oil traded at $86.11 a barrel. $86.11. That's down $1.97 today. This is as of today, 10/23. Here is the chart in the center here. Here is a green chart that shows you where oil has been for the last 1 year. And you can see at the right-hand side here is where we are. We're really almost at the highest point that it's been for the year. Now, the highest point that we've been for the year was September 27th, less than a month ago, and it was $93.68. So that's where we were. Take a look on the right-hand side. You can see 10/23 at the top, 86.11, and you can see the prices for a barrel of oil all the way down till the end of November of 2022. Take a look at this. Let me show you what has been happening. 2022, 11/30, we were at $80. We went down to 78, 77. Okay, so we went down in price starting in January and was down until June. But what started, oh, good, thank you. One barrel is 42 gallons. Thank you. Then look what started happening at the end of May and June. It went back up to $70, 81, 83, 90, 86. Carolyn Williams has no crystal ball. But I am going to tell you that it is my thought pattern that we're going to see oil cross over $100 a barrel here shortly. We're going to see oil continue to go up and cross over $100. Now, what makes me say that? That's just my opinion, but I'm going to tell you some things that make me think that way. And you may say, Carolyn, what? So, okay, you're talking about the price of a barrel of oil going up. Do I care? Well, yeah, you're going to be paying more for heating and oil, gas in your car, but you can also make money knowing this information. You can also make money knowing this information. And I hope this is the reason that you're here, is that you don't only want to be a consumer, you want to make money on this information. So if you want to make money, just put in the comment, make money, exclamation point. Now, if you're a consumer, you're going to complain about this. Oil going over $100 a barrel, and I think this now, and oil is sitting at $86 a barrel. Oh man, I don't want it to go to $100 a barrel. I'm going to have to pay, but that's okay. That's what the consumer says. But if we're here to make money, I want to see you put in the comment, make money. And we're going to talk about this, and we're not going to be sad or mad when oil goes up to $100, because we're going to do the things to position ourselves right now. Oh, I see somebody say make money. Y'all, look at that. Oh, somebody with me, y'all. Oh. Yep, look at that. Miss Marcine says she going to make money too. Yep, got it. Yep. So with that, this is why we're talking about this today. So let me go forward, because I do have a lot to share, but I got to condense it down. So I'm talking fast, but I want to get it in. If I'm talking too fast, let me know and I will slow down. And if there's anything that you don't understand, definitely ask questions. Now, what makes the price of oil go up or down? I'm going to tell you it's supply and demand. Now, let's just give you an example. I'm going to give you an example here. Let's suppose that there is a group of stock savvy folks, just like ourselves, stock savvy folks, and we are going to participate in a community wide bazaar. It's a bazaar where you bring your wares and you set up tables and you sell all of your stuff. Now, the community tells us what to bring, and they say, you stock savvy people over there, we want you guys to bring sweet potato pies. Now, we got another group over here that's going to bring lemon pie. We got another group that's going to bring cookies. We got another group that's going to bring apple pies, and some other people that's going to bring pecan pies. Stock savvy people, you guys bring sweet potato pies. And so we say, okay, thank you. I'll let everybody know. And so we all say, okay, everybody that's going to participate bring sweet potato pies, and we want to make sure that we participate in a good way. So everybody come and bring 10 sweet potato pies. Now, your pie, you can make it however you want. It's your pie. The money that you make on selling your pies at this bazaar, it's your money to keep. So you can price your pies at whatever way you want to price them. So everybody says, yeah, you guys are such participation. You're so great at participating. I can see by the comments. You're so great at participating. So guess what? 40 of us show up at the bazaar and we all bring 10 sweet potato pies. There's 40 of us that bring 10 sweet potato pies. So we got tables laid out and we got 400 sweet potato pies at this bazaar. I mean, that's good. Y'all did good. But you know what? The other groups didn't do, they weren't as good as us. When we look over here at the apple pies, there was 12 apple pies over there. At the lemon pies, they had 10 lemon pies. Pecan pies, they had 5. And we had 400 sweet potato pies. We had sweet potato pies everywhere. Everybody brought 10 and 40, all 40 of y'all showed up. So 40 of us showed up with all these sweet potato pies. And you know what? Guess what happened when people turned the corner to the bazaar where the pies were? They saw our 400 pies all right here. They saw all 400 of our pies and they said, oh, wow, whole lot of sweet potato pies. I'm going to come back to these, but I see apple pies over here and I don't see very many. There may be, I may want to pick up one of them before everybody gets them all. Oh, and there's fewer lemon pies. I'm going to run to the lemon pies too, because it's just not that many of them. So I want to make sure that I get a lemon pie. I'm going to come back. I'll come back to y'all with the sweet potato pies. So here we all standing up here with the 400 pies at our table. You know, this is my pie right here. My pie is this one here, right here, that's got the whipped cream dollop on it. That's my pie. It's pretty thick. You know, I'm looking at this pie up here up top. I see this is Marcine's pie right here. It's like a cheesecake in a pie. It's right here up top in the upper right-hand corner. It's got a dollop of whipped cream, but it's got cheesecake on there too. And then I'm looking at this other pie here. Here's a thin pie. This thin pie right here, I like the thin one because you can get a lot of crust. This is Hetty's pie. I know she likes the thin pie too. So all of our pies look different, and we've all priced our pies different because they are different. They're not all the same price. So, but very few people are coming by our table to look at our pies because they're over there looking at the apple pies, the ones that are in shortage. So guess what happened when somebody comes by the table looking at Marcine's pie? She priced that pie at $29.99 for the whole pie with that cheesecake. So you know what? Somebody's like, ooh, that pie looked good. She got 10 of them too. But you know what I did when somebody went up to Marcine? I went by this person and I said, $5. You can get my whole pie for $5. And somebody else saw me. Somebody else came over looking at another pie. I go, and people said, oh, we can get the whole pie over there for $5. Marcine's like, this is not going to work. You cannot take my customers like this. Hetty said, Carolyn, that is not fair. That ain't right. And we started squabbling amongst ourselves for the few clients that we had, because I'm trying to sell my pie because, again, the money that I make is mine. The money that you make is yours. We started squabbling and everything because nobody was making money. The problem here is that we had so many pies that you can't sell them for a whole lot because they're so plentiful. Over there with the apple and lemon pies with very few pies, they could take their pies up $5 and somebody would still buy them. Give me that last one. I'll pay $5 more for it. As a matter of fact, give me all 5 of them. Here's $100, So the supply and demand, when the supply is high and the demand is low, the price of the pies have to come down. And when the supply is low and everybody's asking for it, you just take the price up of your pie. You all know it. We see it all the time. You go to the clearance rack, there's lots of stuff on the clearance rack that nobody wanted. They had to mark it down because the supply was there, but there was no demand for it. This happens. We see this in our regular lives, but this happens with oil too. This happens with oil. So let me tell you what we need to do within our Stock Savvy group is get together and say, look, we're going to go back here behind this tent and we're going to work this out. We're going to figure out a price for our pies, and we all need to have the same price. And I say, well, I'm selling my pie for $19.99. Marcine said, I can't sell my pie like you can sell your janky pie. My pie got cream cheese and everything in it. You can sell your little janky pie for $19.99, but I can't sell my cream cheese pie for $19.99. That doesn't even cover. And, I'm like, and Hetty's like charging $9.99 for her pie. I'm like, that don't even cover the whipped cream on mine. We can't work this out. So we got to work this out, and somebody ain't going to be happy. But we're going to come out of here, and we walk out it from behind this tent. We're going to have one price for all the pies, and that's it. The money you make is your money, but we get to set the price, and we control the price for all the pies. That's what we did. That's called a cartel agreement. A cartel agreement. Most times we hear the word cartel and we think about it as drugs, and that's exactly how they do with drugs. With drugs, it's all the same price. From what I'm understanding, it's all the same price. It doesn't matter where you go. You get a dime bag of weed. I don't even know if they have dime bag of weed, but if you get a dime bag of weed, it's $10. I don't care where you go, right? So I'm guessing it's called a drug cartel because they control prices that way. And you don't have anybody that's out there doing anything differently, saying, I can't sell mine for your little janky price. I gotta cover my own price. Okay, so now let me tell you. This is what happens with oil as well. The exact same thing happens with oil. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I want to introduce you to a group that's called OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. There's 15 different countries in this cartel. It's actually a cartel. They get together. If you look at some of these, it's 15 in there as of 2023. I don't have them all listed here. Some of them are very small and I just didn't list them. But what they do is they get together and they decide what it is that they're going to sell a barrel of oil for. Because what we could have done too is said, yeah, we're going to set one price. You know what? We got 400 pies. But you know what? Some of y'all don't need to bring pies tomorrow. How about you take 5 of you, take your pies home and don't bring them back? Because we just got too many sweet potato pies out here. Now remember, this is what Hetty said. I'll tell you something. I heard Hetty. She said, oh, I'm coming tomorrow and pies are coming with me. If they have to be in the back of my car with my own homemade sign, so be it. But you don't understand. This is how I make money for my family. Oh, sweet potato pies are coming with me. I just may be out there in the parking lot, but don't tell me to not bring no pies. What you're telling me is that I don't get to make money for my family. This ain't no social club. This is what we do to make money for our families. So we're like, okay, all the pies come, but let's get them all at the same price. This same thing happens. Have you guys ever heard about OPEC having squabbles amongst themselves, where OPEC is in disagreement, different countries, different OPEC nations are in disagreement with each other? That's exactly what's happening. They each have oil to bring to the table. They export oil, and this is how they make money for their country. So they want to make money for their country, and each country has a different type of oil. In Nigeria, I know the oil is very thick and very, very heavy. That type of oil is really used in factories. That shale oil that we produce here in the US won't work well in some of these heavy duty factories. Each oil has a different content, and they're each good for different things. Asphalt oil is used. Asphalt is something that's created from some dense, heavy oil. So with that, all the different oils are needed. We can't just say we don't want any oil from the Republic of Congo or from Nigeria. We only want Saudi oil. You can't do that. There's certain things in the world that needs that particular type of oil. But what this OPEC cartel does is they set the prices for the oil, and this determines, they also set how much you can bring to the bazaar. They may say, Libya, I need you to cut back on how much you're producing. Each one of these countries say how much oil they're bringing to the table for the next 3 months. When they have an OPEC meeting, OPEC comes out and they announce to the world how much oil they're going to be releasing, and then that's going to help determine the supply. The demand for oil comes from what we do. There was no demand for oil during COVID, when planes stopped flying, when cars stopped on the road, when buses stopped, and we were told to stay at home all across the world. There was very little demand for oil. So we had 400 sweet potato pies in oil barrels out there. There was so much oil everywhere that the price of oil dropped so low that the price of a gallon of gas dropped so low. Everybody remember that? So, but kind of the opposite is happening now. Now that the world is back up and operating, there is a big demand for oil. But what if there is a supply problem? Hint. What if there's a supply problem because of unrest in Eastern Europe and Russia? What if there is a potential supply problem because of unrest in Israel? Right now, they're saying that's not the case. But do you see where I'm going? Do you see where I'm going? It's all about how much you have available to be sold, and what is the demand for it. What I'm going to tell you is that the demand for oil right now here in the US and around the world is very high. As we get ready to go into winter season, the demand for oil for heating is very high. But we also have somewhat of a risk with supply not being as readily available. So that would affect the price of a barrel of oil. Now, in our next session, we're going to continue talking about the oil dance. What I'm going to talk about is what's up now with supply and demand. I kind of gave you a preview of some of that. What's up right now? I understand about the sweet potato pie. I understand about having so many out there that you can charge $5. And I see how that relates to oil. If you guys see the correlation, let me know. Put in the comments if you have any questions. Or if this makes sense and I see the correlation, just say something in the comment to let me know. And I can break it down a little bit more if need be. Because in the next session, I want you to understand that. Because in the next session is we're going to talk about what's happening now with supply and demand. What's it looking like? And how I said I want to make money, but how can I potentially make money with this information? Okay. So that's what's coming up. And that's going to be in our Stock Savvy session, day 2, oil dance, day 2. Just show up right here. Share this with your friends if you think that somebody you know would be interested in this. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go into stock talk. Stock talk. Now, as we go into Stock Savvy sessions, I'm going to set up a scenario for you. And that scenario is you have a friend that comes up and gives you a stock tip. A friend says, "Oh, I know you trade stocks some. Let me tell you about this stock. This is a stock I think you need to know. This stock is good. Somebody told me about it. And I just want to make sure that you know, because I know you trade stocks, and this is a good one. You better get in some of this one. Are you in it? No, I'm not in it yet. Not yet, but I'm just making sure that I tell everybody first before I get in it. And so when you get information about like that, what do you do next? What do you do with that information? First of all, I want you to say, thanks, buddy. Thanks. I appreciate you. But I also want you to ask a question of how big and how much. How big and how much? Let's first talk about how big. How big is this company that they're telling you about? Is this a small company that's run by a few people? Is this a large company? How big is this company? It makes a difference because with stocks, what we tend to watch for in the US in terms of stock stability is the larger companies tend to be more stable. They tend to have been around longer. They tend to have more savings on hand, cash reserves, more assets, so that they're less likely to go out of business with any type of a business interruption. There were a lot of companies that just didn't make it after COVID. They couldn't stand that long of a business interruption. Your bigger companies, they did well. So big companies and small companies, I'm not saying one's good or bad. The first thing I want you to ask is, how big is this company that we're talking about? The way that we tell that is we look at market cap. We look at market capitalization. Market capitalization, it is the total value of the company. It's the company net worth. Everything that the company has, all of their assets, all of their intellectual property, all of their buses, all of their inventory, all of their patents, anything that this company, all of their accounts receivable, anything that this company owns, and then you take away anything that this company owes, take away all of their debts, the things that they already owe people. That is the net value of the company, not just everything that they have, but take away what they owe. That is the net value. And that's what market capitalization is. It basically tells you how big the company is. And so the way you calculate market cap is you take the number of stock shares that are outstanding and you multiply that times the price per share. Now, you never have to calculate it. You don't have to. I just told you that just so you know. I understand it's not something that I think is important for you to make money. I'm only going to tell you the things that I really think you need to make money. That's what I'm going to focus on. And so this really just determines the size of the company. You don't have to calculate it. I'm going to show you just how to look it up and find it. So now the market cap of a company, it's probably a huge number, but we don't represent it with the number. There are classifications. So we take this value and we just put it in classifications. Mega cap. This is companies that have a market cap in excess of 200 billion. A large cap, they have a market cap between 10 billion and 200 billion. Mid cap, small cap, micro cap, and nano cap. So you can see a nano cap is the smallest companies. The market cap is below 30 million. Now notice the difference between million and billion. The small cap is where you get into billions. From 250 million to 2 billion is the small cap company. So with that, I just want you to know that the market cap classification is typically what you hear about. You don't hear companies say my market cap is 433 billion. They say, no, we're a mega cap company. Now, I do want you to know this chart, anytime you see in this Stock Savvy sessions, when you see a red star in the upper right-hand corner, that means this is a downloadable resource that you can get from Money Reverse University. When you sign up for the free Stock Savvy sessions, you go there and there is a lesson that says downloadable resources, and you can download this and you can have it and hold it. Print it out, put it on your wall, frame it, whatever you need to do. So this is something that I want you, a resource that I want you to have. You don't have to remember this, just know where to get the information. Okay. So this is how you tell how big the company is. Now with market cap, let me show you. Here's an example of a market cap. This we're going to use here on the right-hand side, ExxonMobil Corporation. This quote was pulled after market close today. 1023. The ExxonMobil stock is $109.43. And this is the market cap over here that's circled. It's 433.26 billion. 433.26 billion. Now, I do know that mega cap is anything above 200 billion. So with this is definitely a mega cap stock. This is a mega cap stock. So this is market cap. Again, you don't have to look it up. You don't have to calculate it. You just look it up and it shows you what it is. So when somebody tells you about a stock, first look and see how big is it. The next thing I want you to ask is how much. That buddy gives you a stock tip. And you know what? These questions, don't ask your buddy these questions. You just ask these questions of yourself. And I'm showing you how to get the answers for yourself and how to just know it for yourself. Don't ask your buddy for it. You just say, thanks for the information. Then I want you to whoop out your phone and you just start looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Don't put your buddy on the spot. So now how much? The how much question I want you to ask yourself is I want you to know how much has this stock been trading at for the last year, not just today. Let's look at the last year. Let's look at the 52-week high and the 52-week low. The 52-week high, 52 weeks is 1 year. It is the highest trading price in which the stock has closed in a year. The stock may have been higher than this price during the day. That's called an intraday high. But what is the highest price in which this stock has closed in the last 52 weeks? And then the 52-week low is the lowest trading price in which this stock has closed in the last 52 weeks. Now take a look at the spread, the difference between the 52-week high and the 52-week low, and then compare that to the current stock price. It doesn't tell you if you want to buy the stock. It just gives you enough, It's just information that you have about the stock. We're going to go into some other things that I want you to do throughout the week to determine what do you do with information when a buddy tells you that this is a stock that you should buy. Don't just go buy it. I want you to start asking some questions of yourself and then whooping out your phone or get on your computer and doing some research yourself. If these are things that you think you can do, just say, I can do that. Thank you. I see your comments here. Thank you, everybody. Now, the 52-week high and low. Let's look at this same quote from ExxonMobil. Now, ExxonMobil, it's circled at the top here. One thing I didn't share with you, that every stock has a short symbol, a 3 or 4 digit symbol, or it could be 1 digit, 1 letter or number. But anyway, it's a symbol and it's in parentheses. So with that, the symbol is in parentheses, and for ExxonMobil, it's XOM. So what I want you to see here is what I have circled here, the 52-week range. There is $98.02 as the low and $120.70 is the high. So that is the 52-week range. Take a look at this. And where does the stock price now sit in these two ranges? This is interesting. It's kind of, so about a 20, just, less than a $25 swing. So it's kind of sitting, right at 100. So kind of in the middle of there. And you got a little bit of upside. If you say this thing gets back to where it has been at its high point, then yeah, there's some upside there. So this is just some information. It doesn't tell you, neither of these things tell you today whether you need to buy this stock. It's just information so that you will have it, so you will be able to determine if you need to buy this stock. But I do want you to do at minimum these two before you move forward with any stock purchases. Now, that was explaining it. Now, I want to share with you how to see it for yourself. What I did was I just kind of pulled a snippet out and posted it on the screen. But suppose you want to look at this information for stocks in which I have not put the snippet on the screen. Let me share with you how you can do it. What I'm doing is using for this class, we're going to use Yahoo Finance, www.finance.yahoo.com. www.finance.yahoo.com. You can also download the yahoo.com app. Now, I'm not sponsored by Yahoo or anything. I just kind of like their tool. It's a free tool. They don't charge you anything, so they don't pay me anything to tell you. It's just something that you can use, and also to let you know you don't have to pay for software to research stocks. The stocks, information about publicly traded stocks, the information is generally available to the public. You don't have to pay to get information to research stocks. This is one of the free sites that you can go to. So what we do here, what I have here at the top, the home screen at the top, they have a little bar here. I got the arrow pointing to the search bar up here. What I want to do, if you don't know the company symbol, just type in the company name right there in the search bar. For the example, we're going to look at Hess Corporation. So what we type in right here is Hess, Hess Corp. And when you start typing that in, it's going to do some forward searches for you and put together a drop-down list of ones to select, and you'll select Hess Corporation. Let me show you what it'll look like. And this is the quote that you're going to see come up. This is Hess Corporation, stock symbol HES. You can see all of the pertinent things I have circled right here. The price of Hess Corporation at the time of this snippet, which was after market close on the day of this recording, 161.30. It's down $1.72 today. That's down 1.06%. And I can tell you it's down because it's in red. If it was up, it would be in green. Like if you look what happened after the market closed, there was some aftermarket information. It was 161.52 on the right-hand side. It was up 20 cents. And see how that 20 cents is in green? That tells you that it's up. So this is the movement, the change in the stock price. Okay, so we can see what we talked about here today. The market cap is on the right-hand side, 49.529 billion, 49 billion. So this is a large cap stock. I know this is a large cap stock. When you look at the chart of the market cap classifications, you will see that this is a large cap stock. Anything between 10 billion and 200 billion is a large cap stock. And then the 52-week range here for Hess is 113.82 and 167.75. This is interesting. Take a look. Hess is sitting at the high end of the range. Let me tell you what happened with Hess today. Does anybody know what happened with Hess Corporation today? If you know what happened with Hess Corporation today, let me know. I'm going to share with you, but if somebody knows, I want you to share with me. So does anybody know what Hess Corporation is? I'll tell you how to find out what Hess Corporation is as well. It's not, I don't have a slide to show it, but let me go back and show you. Okay. Well, I can't show you right now. I have it cut off, but I'll see if I can find it. I'll show you tomorrow how to find what Hess Corporation is. I'll tell you, but I want to show you. I just don't have it. I didn't plan to tell you that. So with that, this one, see the star in the upper right-hand corner? This is also something you can download. If you say, I want to make sure I know how to see market cap in 52-week range, I have this as a downloadable resource for you. Okay. Yep. I see somebody knows. ExxonMobil. No, not ExxonMobil. Yep. They're getting bought out today, but not ExxonMobil. I'm going to tell you, ExxonMobil bought out somebody 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't Hess. But Hess is being bought today, but not by Exxon. So remember, we're talking about the oil dance. I want to let y'all know what's going on when it's happening. ExxonMobil bought out Pioneer Naturals 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they announced that. Hess was announced to be bought out today by Chevron. Chevron announced today that they were buying Hess Corporation. So we're going to see a lot of consolidation. We're seeing a lot of movement. This dance. Remember, we're calling it the oil dance. We're going to talk about what's been going on for the last few months of oil. Remember, the whole reason you want to know this is because I want you to know what's going on so that you can make some money in this. Yeah, you're close, Brenda. She said, yeah, that's right. That's right. But you're close. It's Chevron. ExxonMobil did their dance move. ExxonMobil started their electric slide 2 weeks ago. Then Chevron said, hey, I'm getting on the dance floor too. So Chevron's out there shuffling now. This is fun. I love it. Thank you guys. Thanks for letting me do this. Okay, so that's an example. Now let's see it again. If there's a company that you want to look at, and again, go use Yahoo Finance. And let's say for this one, let's look at Dynex Capital. If you don't know the symbol for Dynex Capital, just type in the whole company name right here in the search bar at the top, and it'll start bringing down ones for you to do a drop down on. And you do that, and this is what you see with Dynex Capital. This quote was as of today, the date of this recording, 10/23/2023. And you can see Dynex Capital. The name is circled. You can see the symbol. It's DX. This stock is trading at $10.30. It's down 37 cents today. And you can see the market cap for Dynex Capital, $558.304 million. Remember, this isn't billion, this is million. 558. It's tiny to me. I can't see it on the screen. 558. So this is a small cap stock. Anything that's greater than 250 million, and this is 558 million. And then you can look at the 52-week range here, down here on the left-hand side. 981 is the low and $15 is the high. So this is the second example that we have of how to do market cap and 52-week range to answer the questions, how big and how much. So again, there's your star in the upper right-hand corner. You can download this one as well if you want to. Now, it is time. I'm going to give you some homework. Every day that you come to Stock Savvy, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do some homework. And what I want you to do with the homework is really just look and see. I want you to actually do the homework, because that is what seals the deal. This is what makes the difference in whether you're just sitting and listening to a webinar or if you're taking a class. When you're taking a class, you open your books, you get the homework, you do the lesson, and it sticks. If you do the homework, I promise you, you will never forget it. And the way you can do the homework, I am going to put in the comment right now a link to Stock Savvy session, free course in Money Reverse University. So if you click that link, it'll take you to Money Reverse University. And what I'm going to ask you for there is your name and your email address. And so you put in your name and your email address. If you've already signed up for Money Reverse University, you just go in and you just select the free Stock Savvy course. And once you go in there, you will see the video for the biblical investing lesson. You will see the downloadable for the market cap, all of the downloadables, and you will see the homework assignment as well. I'm going to go through the homework assignment with you, but you will need to sign up for Money Reverse University to actually get to it. I'm just going to talk about it right now. So what your homework is for day one is I want you to complete research on 2 stocks from the supplied list in Money Reverse University. So you'll go out there. There is a list of stocks that I have put together, and you would go and claim 2 of those stocks. Put your name in the selected by column to say, these are the stocks I'm going to research. And then with that, I want you to update the sheet with the stock price, the symbol, the market cap, the 52-week high, and the 52-week low. So again, you're going to put the stock price, the stock symbol, market cap, 52-week high, and 52-week low. Now, what I want you to also do is to add at least 1 stock of your choice to the bottom of the list in the white columns, in the white spaces. If there's some stocks that you're interested in researching, it's good for you to just take this opportunity. If you're learning for the first time, it's good for you to take the opportunity and just put some stocks out there that you want to learn about, not just do the ones that Carolyn Williams and Money Reverse suggested. So now to do this, I want you to do exactly like we did in class. Use Yahoo Finance for your research, www.finance.yahoo.com. Now, here is an example of what the homework looks like. This is what the homework sheet looks like. So it is Stock Savvy homework. And here is exactly what you're going to see. The one in the yellow is the example. Hetty Watkins, that is my virtual assistant. She actually did a sample homework assignment for us. She actually did ExxonMobil. She put in the stock symbol, the company name, ExxonMobil. She put the stock price, 52-week low, 52-week high, and she did the market cap. The market cap is a drop-down box, so there's a little arrow there. So you're going to need to have that downloadable resource to see if it's a mega cap, large cap, mid cap, small cap, micro cap, or nano cap. So you are going to use that little reference sheet to do that. So with that, below that one, what you see here with the company names, that's all you have on here. You see that the company names are in the column full company name, so you're going to have to look up everything else. The claim by column is the very first column, and see where Hetty put her name there, and she put today's date. So you actually fill in your name and today's date, and then start with the stock symbol. So with that, now let me tell you a little hint. There are some stocks here that are highlighted in orange, like you see that one, Baker Hughes. As a hint, these are that are orange are oil stocks. I have a few of them sprinkled through here. So if you want to do some research on some oil stocks as we go through talking about oil this week, then you can just pick you one or two of the orange ones. And that way you will get a jump on starting to research if some of these stocks are ones that you would want to take advantage of, knowing what's going on with oil. So again, on the homework sheet, you will see the oil stocks. They're highlighted. The names of the companies are highlighted there in orange. You just pick one of them out and you just start doing the research. Does that seem like a homework that you can do? If you can do the homework, just say, I can do that. Or if you're going to do the homework, say, I'm going to do the homework. Now, believe it or not, that's it for our day one for Stock Savvy. That is it for our Stock Savvy sessions. We are going to be here for 4 days. Today is Monday, October 23rd at 7 p.m. That's scratched off. We are going to move on to Stock Savvy Day 2. And again, right where you're watching me right now, if you're watching this on the replay, you can just tune into this replay again every day this week. I'd love for you to join me live, but if you can't, the replays will be out here for you. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. A couple of places on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're watching this after the fact, the videos will be posted in Money Reverse University, so you'll be able to watch it there as well. So with that, I want you to let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to answer your questions. And then we will, hold on, here to answer all of your questions. Now, I do look a little bit different in this picture than I do right now, don't I? Let me show you what I look like right now. A little bit different. I got a new hairdo. I got a new hairdo. So with that, let me know if you have any questions. I see Jonathan says he's gonna do that homework. Thank you. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. I'm really interested. I always keep a side eye on oil. So the oil conversation, I hope that it's interesting. I'm not going to be able to give you everything that I want to give you in 4 days. And these classes, I really set them up to be 45 minutes. The very first one is a little bit longer because I go into some of the why, but every day, including the questions and answers, it should be about 45 minutes. So I'm not going to be able to give you the full story of oil, but I hope I give you enough to wet your whistle so that you will keep an eye and ear open. All you got to do is watch the news. Something about oil is in the news every day, and not just the financial news, the regular everyday news. So with that, just stay tuned, and I want you to know what's going on. Yeah. Thank you, Marcine. Yeah, Brenda said you're rocking a new hairdo. Yeah. Good. Thank you. I have not taken brand pictures yet. I said I was going to get a new look. I set my goals. I do goals for the year in September. And I finished up my goals for the next year. And so then I take the last 3 months of the year and I do whatever I have to do to get ready to meet that goal. Earlier in the year, I said I was going to go bald in January. I was going to go bald next year. And so I cut my hair just to see how it would grow back because I was determining, did I want to go completely bald or go shortcut? Once I cut it, I was like, oh, no, we're going to stay right here. I'm not putting another wig on. So I haven't taken brand pictures or anything. That wasn't in the plan until the fall, right? I wasn't going to take brand pictures until first of the year. So I'll take some brand pictures. So all my Money Reverse pictures, they all have me with all this hair, but there's no hair anymore. So thank you guys for the compliment. So now, if you're going to join me here for Stock Savvy Sessions Day 2, just say, I will be here. Just say Stock Savvy Day 2. Ginger already says, hey, Ginger. Hey, Boston. Everybody, this is Boston. Now, her name is Ginger, but she's in Boston, so I always call her Boston. And she knows it. We've talked before. Good to see you, Ginger. I miss you. Oh, my God. Yeah, Marcine says freedom. Girl, you know it. Ginger says see you tomorrow. Marcine says freedom. Yes, ma'am. That's it. That's exactly what it is. So now, if you want to do the homework, just say, yeah, I'm going to do the homework. I see some of you saying Stock Savvy Day 2. Good deal. So do your homework. Let me know if you have any issues. I'm here to help you. Post any questions that you have here in the live stream, or in Money Reverse University. Oh, the link for Money Reverse University, let me put it out there again for you so that you can sign up for Stock Savvy. Sign up for this free Stock Savvy course in Money Reverse University, because that's where the homework is. I want you to learn something. I want you to know something, because at the end, when we finish day 4, I'm going to want you to do something. And that do something is go make some money in stocks. Okay, everybody, have a great evening, and I will see you here for day 2.